Traveling on down that coal town road. Hey, listen to my rubber tires whine. Goodbye to Buckeye and White Sycamore. I'm leaving you behind. Well, I've been a coal man all my life, laying down track in the hole. Got a back like an ironwood bent by the wind. Blood veins as blue as...
I've been in mining since 1973. I became interested in mining due to the high wages and good benefits and a possibility of retirement.
We've been coming on the picket line ever since about 6 months. It's about 6 months we've been out. We plan on staying just as long as it takes us to get something done. If it takes 2 years and it holds out 2 years, then we'll be right here for 2 years and day after day or whatever it takes.
Somebody said that's a strange tattoo you have on the side of your head. I said that's the blue mark left by the...
In the 1930s, the United Mine Workers of America came to the mountains of eastern Kentucky. Since that time, there have been hundreds of conflicts between the coal companies and the Union. One of the longest running has been the 4-year struggle of Old Beth Elkhorn Mine No. 29, now owned and operated by Kai Creek Mining.
We came out because to support Piston. The International Union pulled us out to support Piston strike. So Piston went back and we're still out.
We come out on strike September the 29th, I believe it was, of '88. And 2 weeks later, I don't remember the date on it, but they told us to go back to work. And we went back to work on that Monday, and they had the gate locked and had a sign up, "Ha ha, no more Mine 29." And that was the last time we was ever in the holler. Been out on strike ever since.
Well, when Piston went back to work, and we was told to go back to work through the International Union, then we had our buckets and our work clothes, whatever, and started to the mine site across the road. He slid the gate across the road. And when they told us there wasn't more Mine 29, we knew better. The Union started that mine, and we knew better. It's still there. They can call it whatever they wanted, but it's still there. And everybody felt down, hoping that would get solved in the next week or so after that, or the next day. But they're still putting strike breakers in on us. Scabs, what they are. And it just made a man feel pretty low when he come take a job. I thought it's a free country, but evidently it's not. How can they take a job from someone else if it's free country? That's a little communism, I think.
To watch the coal trucks going in and out, every time I come over here and pick it, I'm sick in my stomach for about 3 or 4 days afterwards. It really bothers you to know that you had your livelihood up in here and you had your retirement planned to be up in here, and that now, till we get something settled, you don't know, you're not sure how your future is going to be.
As long as people keep scabbing the way they're doing, it's going to get to nobody ain't going to make a living in this world. I mean, just like most of the guys down here that's doing their jobs today, they never come to Bethlehem or Mine 29 and applied for a job. When union trouble started, they started coming out from under rocks. That's how low they are. I mean, they've come out from under every rock in Pike County, I guess, to get jobs in this holler, and didn't want one before.
One of my friends he came and talked to me about going in. He said that he would not go in unless his truck went in, and he wanted my permission to say that it's okay, and I told him that I couldn't do it. He'd have to make up his own mind. And he ended up going in, but his job didn't last too long. He hauled for about 2 months in, and then they got rid of him. So in the long run, to save our friendship and to have better relations, it'd have been simpler for him just to go ahead and got a different job in the first place, which I tried to explain to him, but we didn't have no hard words or anything, but he just couldn't understand that he was doing anything wrong. So you have situations like that. I can't understand, why they don't think they're doing anyone wrong, and some of them can't understand why they are doing anything wrong. So it's sometimes it's a no-win situation.
Well, community support was great at the beginning of the strike in '89, and probably for the first 2 years, community pitched in and done a lot for the guys on the line. But it seems as it goes on, people get used to it, and it kind of slows down. But this is kind of a union community, so they'll pretty well stick with us.
When we first come out, we had all kinds of community support. But like I told the guys at the picket shack, the longer we stay out, you're going to lose it as time goes on.
My wife is very supportive. Anytime you lose your job or you change jobs or something happens, it's hard on your family, especially when you have a good job and you go from a large amount of money to a smaller amount of money.
The union furnishes us with strike fund, which is, at present, it's $225 a week. You get paid every 2 weeks, which of $450. And of course, we do odd jobs like me myself. I roof houses and build parts on houses, just whatever anybody needs,
I'm on UMWA strike fund, which is $900 a month, and we had a full coverage insurance. You had a deductible that you had to pay when you first came on it, and so that's before I was called back to this mines. I was laid off for 6 years. I was driving a coal truck, in which I was making $5 an hour, so I was making less money than I am now on this, and I didn't have any insurance. So I don't enjoy being on this. I'd rather be up in there working, but I can't complain too much either.
I was raised up in the mining industry. My father had 42 years underground. I had 6 brothers that was underground miners, and I just raised up in the family. So after I came out of service, I went to Michigan and tried it. Didn't like the north, so I came back and went underground.
My dad was in the union, but he didn't work all of his life in the union. He worked in the truck mines, and he owned one for a while, so I know what it's like, and I've worked in truck mines and non-union mines, and I know what it's like. You have some people that are good to you, but anytime that you're in the mines like that and everything's going their way and you're running good coal, they will be good to you. If something happens, though, sometimes if it's going to be you or somebody else, if they're a friend with somebody else, you'll be the one that goes, and they'll be the one that stays.
My dad was a miner. My father-in-law was a union miner. I guess that's where I got mine from. It just runs in the family.
A union is one of the best things that's ever come in any kind of community or any kind of job sites, because you have protection plans, you have good wages, and you've got all benefits. There's nothing like a good union, and the union is as strong as a person.
The union means a lot to me. As far as union terms, it means good benefits, it means good pay, it means I can get off of my equipment at dinner time and go eat dinner. And if I'm tired at quit time and I want to come home, there's nobody to tell me I have to stay. I've worked non-union, and you eat your dinner sitting on your equipment, whatever you're running. And at quit time, if they come up and say, we're going to stay back 4 hours, you stay. So that's what the union hits. The union means the world to me. Good insurance, you can't beat it. And if these scabs had ever worked in a union, they wouldn't be down here doing what they're doing. They just don't realize what they're doing.
The union means to me to a bunch of people that look out for each other, that you don't want anything. It's like a family, or you look out for one another. If one is done wrong, all is done wrong.
If everybody don't back the union, it's going to come to a situation where everybody be working for $5 an hour underground, and that's an unsafe condition no matter how safe they try to make it. And if the people in the community and this part of the country in the coal fields don't get together and support this union, we're all going to have a hard time to educate our children. We're going to have a hard time making ends meet.
In the past 4 years, I could see progress being made through the union and the coal company. But I see a whole lot of things that the judges should do that they've not done. Why should they let a coal company just keep prolonging the lawsuit?
I think that we have a court date coming up April of '94, and I think at that time there will be some kind of settlement or something. Hopefully we'll win our jobs back. Our lawyers and the president of our union and things seem to think that we will win the case.
Basically, it was over, yes. And the agreement entered into is still of effect. However, of course, those men out there, they've got a job. They're being paid to be out there. And like I said, they'll be out there as long as the union pays them.
I don't see any reason why it's went on this long. Every time that we have a hearing at Pikeville, they keep putting us off. I don't see any reason why that this has taken 4 years, to be honest with you. There's no reason for it. I'm no judge, and I can try 1 in 4 years. I think it's just more or less holding us off, hoping we'll quit.
We're going to be there as long as it be daylight and hope the world goes a long time.
And I don't know when we'll ever go back. but I will go back. They still got my mind about boots. I've got to go back.
I stood for the union, walked in the line, and I fought against the company. I stood for the UMW of A. Now who's gonna stand for me? For I got no house and I got no pay. I just got a worrying soul and a blue tattoo on the side of my head, left by the number 9 hole, left by the number